If you'd like to relax in a state of growing excitement, plan to spend your vacation in Oregon. I speak for all the people of Oregon in extending you a warm and friendly invitation to visit us. To visit us for a vacation you'll never forget. This year, come to cool, green Oregon, where hospitality is a way of life.
We knew him first as a television reporter and last as a television commentator. But what we know him best for and what he loved best were his 8 years as governor of Oregon.
The governorship?
Yes.
It'll always be the most fun, the greatest challenge, the greatest worry, and the highest call to duty that I'll ever have. Or if I live to be 1,000, there couldn't be anything that would be more rewarding and more important, and in which I felt I was making a major contribution to the state I love.
Tom McCall had a passion, and now, as Terry Drinkwater reports, it is Tom McCall's fight to preserve a vision and a legacy, the fight of his life.
His doctors say this man really shouldn't be out campaigning, but he is. Tom McCall. Remember, more than a decade ago, McCall, vigorous and visionary, the early environmentalist, then the governor of Oregon. The man who, well, let him tell it. For his state, he did it.
A very special place of great contrast and great beauty, if we take care of it.
The interests of Oregon for today and in the future must be protected from grasping wastrels of the land. We must respect another truism, that unlimited and unregulated growth leads inexorably to a lowered quality of life. This activist loves Oregon more than life. He can't have both very long, but the trade-off with me is perfectly okay. But if the legacy we have helped give Oregon, and which made it twinkle afar, well, if it goes, I guess I wouldn't want to live in Oregon anyhow.
As much as he can, he talks to young people, too. This week, he even went to San Francisco to try to convince Californians to pass a bottle bill. McCall's wife, Audrey, and their son, Sam, would rather he just stayed home, but they know why he doesn't.
I'm afraid that if I start getting down and I can't do anything, I'm really going to go fast. If you're going to go down fighting and you have some clout like I have up here, you better go down fighting for the things you believe in.
And every time I speak to a national convention that comes here, I greet them and I always say, come back many times and visit us again and again and enjoy the beauties of the state, but for heaven's sake, don't move here to live. I always end up the speeches with that appeal, just as serious as I can say it. It gets a great roar of laughter, and then they think a while. And they say, I think you were serious. And we think we know what you mean. He's saying that Oregon is demure and lovely, and it ought to play a little hard to get. And I think you'll all be just as sick as I am if we find it is nothing but a hungry hussy throwing herself at every stinking smokestack that's offered. I said the overriding challenge, the umbrella issue of the campaign and of the decade in Oregon is quality of life in Oregon. I respectfully suggest to you that the proposals this administration has submitted to you today will meet that challenge and will further dramatize the significance of that issue.
Like many of the hallmarks of McCall's tenure in office, environmental concern did not begin with Tom McCall. Livability, that was Mark Hatfield's word. The Willamette Greenway and the effort to save the beaches, those were Bob Straub's ideas. The Bottle Bill and Oregon's pioneer land use planning bill, those began with legislators. But it was Tom McCall who loaned those ideas the force of his personality, his considerable verbal skills, and not least of all, his wit.
Some highway engineers have a mentality, engineeringly speaking, that would run an 8-lane freeway through the Taj Mahal. That is our problem.